Shri Vakrutunda Mahakaya, Suryakoti Samaprabha, Nirvignam Kurume Deva, Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. By seeking the blessings of Almighty God, I, Jyoti, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, deem it a great honor and privilege to welcome you all to this AICT-sponsored 6-day short-term training program on application of NI LabVIEW Phase 2, which is going to help from 25th Jan 2021 to 1 Feb 2021, organized by Department of ECE and CET. On behalf of NCET Management and Department of ECE, I am honored to welcome the session keynote speakers, dignitaries, teaching and non-teaching fraternity, and dear participants across the country for this inaugural ceremony of short-term training program on application of NI LabVIEW Phase 2. I cordially and wholeheartedly welcome you all. Prayer outlive the lives of those who uttered them, outlive a generation, outlive an age, outlive a world. On that motivational note, I am delighted and would request Sharda T, Professor and HOD, Department of Physics, for soulful invocation. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Jyoti, ma'am. Om Namo Bhagavati Omkara Rupini Shri Sharada Bhagavat Swarupini Shri Sharada Om Namo Bhagavati सुवर्णाभरण भूषिते सुमनोहर मन्दस्मिते साधु सज्जनरिं पूजिते सकल चराचर वन्दिते ॐ नमो भगवती ओंकार रूपिणी श्री शारदा भगवत स्वरूपिणी श्री शारदा ओम नमो भगवती वेदशास्त्रಗಳ आदिदेवते अष्टसिद्धिಗಳ देवादिदेवते जगद्रक्षकी जगन्माते शंकर गुरुवर आराध्य देवते ओम नमो भगवती ओंकार रूपिणी श्री शारदा भगवत स्वरूपिणी श्री शारदा ओम नमो भगवती ओम नमो भगवती ओम नमो भगवती
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your profound invocation and blissful song. Small cheer and great welcome makes everything merry. With that cheerful quote, I am immensely pleasure and honor to welcome to today's session keynote speaker, Professor K. Jayaraman, Competency Developer, Bangalore, for today's program. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you so much, madam. Nice of you. Have a good day.
I'm gratified to welcome Dr. S. D. Gopal Krishna, Director NCET, for his continuous support. I'm glad to welcome Dr. Jitendranath Mangara, Principal NCET, as well as Program Chair of this STTP, for his constant support and guidance. Welcome you, sir. I extend my warm welcome to Dr. Kumar K, Dean R&D NCET, Coordinator of NI LabVIEW Academy, Department of ECE is pleased to be associated with you for being very integral part of this STTP. We welcome you, sir. I'm glad to welcome Dean IQAC Dr. S. Mohan Kumar for his continued support and guidance. Welcome you, sir. I extend my warm welcome to Mr. Ranjan Manish, Head Industry Institute Interaction and Innovation Cell, for your support. We welcome you, sir. I'm elated to welcome Dr. Yogisha HC, Controller of Examination, for continuous support and constant guidance. We welcome you, sir. I'm glad to welcome Dr. Nagesh KN, Professor and HOD Department of ECE, for his enormous cooperation and encouragement throughout, as well as the convener and coordinator of this STTP. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
I'd like to extend a warm welcome to Dr. H. Venkatesh Kumar, Senior Professor, Department of ECE, for his continuous support. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, madam.
I'm elated to welcome Dr. Anurag G for his presence at the meeting. We welcome you, sir. I'm elated to welcome Dr. Rohit S., Associate Professor, Department of ECE and CET, as well as the coordinator of this STTP. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am.
I am glad to welcome Dr. D.L. Venkatesh Babu, Professor and HOD, Department of Civil, Dr. Anita Patil, Professor and HOD, Department of CSC and ISC, Dr. Kandraj DG, Professor and HOD, Department of Mechanical Engineering, for their constant support and encouragement throughout. We welcome you all. I extend my heartfelt welcome to Dr. M.V. Sarvesha, Professor and HOD, Department of Mathematics, Sharda T., Professor and HOD, Department of Physics, Dr. Manjunath K., Professor and HOD, Department of Chemistry, for the constant support and guidance. We welcome you all. I am glad to welcome Mr. Shekhar K., Chief Librarian NCET, Campus Administrator Mr. Venkatraju. I welcome Mr. Janardhan Bhatt CK, Head of PED, Physical Education Department. I'd also like to welcome Professor Satyanarayan Raju M., Chief Mentor NCET, for their constant support and encouragement. We welcome you all. I extend my warm welcome to the organizing committee of STTP, without whom the STTP would not have seen its light and have become a resounding success. I welcome all the teaching and non-teaching fraternity and all the participants to this STTP inaugural program, Phase 2. I would now request Dr. Nagesh KN, Professor and HOD, Department of ECE, to address the gathering and brief about the STTP Phase 1. Over to you, sir.
Dr. Rohit, I am audible.
Yes, sir, you are audible.
A very good morning to all of you. Respected management, respected director, principal, dean R&D, HODs of various departments, my dear faculty members and participants of today STTP. I am Dr. Nagesh KN, Head of Electronics and Communication Department, feeling deeply honored to brief about the procedure and protocols followed in conducting AICT-sponsored 6 days short-term training program titled Applications of LabVIEW Phase 2. As a first step, the proposal has been sent to AICT in the month of December 2019. We received approval from AICT in the month of August 2020 to conduct STTP in offline mode. with the fund of 3,83,000. Due to this global pandemic situation, again we received a letter from AICT to execute this STTP in online mode in 3 different phases. Already phase 1 we have completed. I was really amazed to see the impressive registrations. We had 80 registration on the day of official circular about STTP phase 2. After 2 days, it was 110, and totally we have 180 registration from all the corners of countries in short span of time. But as per the AICT guidelines and keeping technical constraints in mind, only 100 registrations has been shortlisted on first serve basis. We have eminent resource persons from reputed organizations and industry. It was a methodological process we followed, and it is an effort from past 1 year to plan, process, and to conduct this STTP. I thank NCET management, director, principal, and EP department staff for their continued support and efforts in executing this STTP in NCET. I wish all the participants a very all the best, and I am sure a lot of knowledge sharing and learning happens on this entire 6 days. Thank you. And I also welcome Dr. K. Jairaman sir to this session. Welcome, sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Nagesh. Thank you so much.
करायचं काय त्याच्या समोर शंकर जय शिंदे 7177
Yes, sir. Thank you so much,
30324
sir, for your briefing about the STTP
दुर्गा
and addressing the gathering. Thank you, sir.
facing Rajay Mahadik.
As we conclude this inaugural session, I would like to thank the first and foremost NCET management, keynote speaker, principal, all department HODs, organizing committee, teaching and non-teaching fraternity, and most importantly, all the participants for being a part of this program. Thank you all. May I now request all the participants to switch on their videos for a group photo. Kindly switch on the
Kindly switch on, all of you requested to kindly switch on your video camera for 1 minute. All of you requested to switch on camera for 1 minute.
0521
All of you requested. Rambabu sir, ಅನಿಸ್ತಿದ್ಯಾ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ? Jyoti ma'am, can you able
Yes,
to
sir.
take the photo? Yes.
Yes, sir.
Please, all of you switch on the camera. Nagesh sir, Jairaman sir, please.
My photograph is, my video is on, I say.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Kindly
Ma'am,
switch
you are
on the
taking.
video, everyone, please.
Deepak. Venkatesh sir.
ಕಾಣಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ರೋಹಿತ್? ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ರೋಹಿತ್, is it
Yes, sir. Now it is visible. Now it is visible.
okay.
Ma'am, is it visible, everyone?
No, sir.
No,
Everyone.
layout you have to increase, Professor Rohit, layout.
It's correct, sir.
Left side,
Yeah, that we have done. That we have done.
change
So
the
all-
layout.
Yeah.
And-
All 50 can see at a time. But I don't know because of internet or some issue. Okay. Ma'am, please take photo anyway. If it is.
No, now it's coming, Professor.
Ma'am, done? Photo?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am, continue, ma'am.
Thank you all. Before leading to the session 1, so this is a schedule which we will be following. There will be 3 sessions each day, followed by on 25th, 27th, 28th, 29th, 30th, and on 1st. Please kindly note that tomorrow will be a holiday on account of Republic Day. Heading straight to the session 1 of this STTP, patience, persistence, and perspiration makes an unbeatable combination for success. Many of the few qualities are owned by today's session 1 keynote speaker, Professor K. Jairaman. May I now request Dr. Rohit S., Associate Professor, Department of ECE, to introduce the session keynote speaker. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Jyoti, ma'am. So, Professor K. Jairaman. So, he is postgraduated in 1967, and he is postgraduated in 1969 in BITS Pilani. So, he is having 10 years of research experience in defense and space companies, and 15 years of industrial experience as a CEO. So he's a product empower, development, marketing, customer support, brand creation, management. So these are all his competencies. So, and he's having approximate 15 years of academic experience in developing, nurturing technology, competency development through syllabus oriented program, like 1 or 2 credit courses for faculty students internships. So his success assurance partner for National Instrument academic relations. So he's having expertise in design and develop and deploy, learn by doing labs, that is lead lab, LEAD, lead lab, and desk, demonstrator, experimenter, and skill developer lab. So, and he's he's conducted so many technology webinars during COVID-19. Okay, so few I will read out: systems and system approach to solution engineering. So he has done 3 sessions. Electronic systems level design practice, 10 sessions. Learn by doing and excel through experimentation, practical electronics. Engineering through remote laboratories, 5 sessions. So data communication standards, wired and wireless optical, so like 1 session. Software engineering to non-computer and IT community, 7 sessions. So he has a keen interest in doing all webinars and STTPs and all. So Professor Jairaman is around 78 years old, but his motivation talk look like an young entrepreneur. Okay, so I request Jairaman to take over the session. Sir, Jairaman sir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Rohit. Only one correction. I'm not 78. I'm still coming nearer to 75. That's okay. Okay. That's not a big problem for me. Okay. I'm not fussy about the age. But anyhow, for your information. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Enjoy
Yes, sir,
the day.
yes, sir. No
Enjoy
problem.
whatever you are doing. Enjoy learning. That's actually the way in which I want to go ahead. And I'm going to show you some slides which probably will tell you how you should positively move towards teaching learning process in a different manner, taking care or taking into account the growth. Okay. First of all, good morning to you all. Enjoy the day. Enjoy everything that you do. Enjoy what is given to you. Okay. And I'm really thankful to the EDA department or the ECE department as a whole, Dr. Rohit in personal, because of the simple reason, being 75-year-old, as he says, or 78-year-olds, as he says, I positively bother him with a lot of details, and he patiently answers all the things. So I'm happy about it. And today's what we call actually this song was excellent. Really speaking, we are all blessed to have such a song in front of us, and we will proceed with good omen. Okay, I'm going to switch on to the slides, and you will really see something really different. Okay, and that's how it is actually. This is actually how I am going to bother about today. Okay, all of you are able to see the slides? Dr. Rohit, confirm?
No, sir.
I have switched
Not
on
yet.
the slides. I have switched
Sir,
on.
you have
What should I
to
do?
present now.
I'll
have to
do
use
that. I'll do
present.
that. Sorry, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. Okay. Vasundha, does it come?
1 minute. Yes, sir. Now it is.
It's okay.
Now it is.
I'll move it to.
Hello.
Hello. I'm proceeding with that. Okay.
Yes, sir. Go ahead, sir. Go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to talk. This is a keynote address. I have a session immediately after the break, so-called break at 11:30, and 11:30 to 1. I'm going to really feed you with enough information so that you will not feel hungry at 1 o'clock. That's actually the 1 p.m. That's actually how I'm going to do it. See, what is the basic thing is, we have come to teaching position. We are basically faculty, okay? And what is our interest? And from there, we are going to start, okay? So I'm going to take the next slide. This is the setup, what I've been given to me. This is actually the program, what is given to me. I am here actually in the first session, second session, first session as well as second session today. And I'm going to do something on that. This is a session I'm doing now, and this is a session I'll follow. Before I proceed with the technology talk or engineering talk, I'm going to talk about something which is really outside. I am sure all of you would have visited all these small restaurants all over the Bangalore city. Okay. Of course, I have come with a very heavy breakfast, so I will talk about the breakfast for some time. Okay. And what is actually done is, whenever, the crowd is sometimes unpredictable. Okay. Suddenly it comes. So normally the owner exhausts idli, he has exhausted vada, he has exhausted all those things. So immediately he will put what is known as actually uppittu and ensure that he gets money for that particular thing. Okay. So I have to take a reference why I am talking about uppittu now is the same way. That is, if you don't get a good person for inauguration, and Jayaraman is always available, and I am the uppittu, and I will make it as sweet as you want, and you will enjoy and enjoy and enjoy. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, see, for instance, recently Amit Shah was supposed to come to Chennai for some Pongal festival or Makar Sankranti festival, as we call, and he couldn't come for whatever political or personal reason. I am not going to worry about it. So he sent JP Nadda. Okay, so it's always actually some sort of a replacement should be always available so that we don't miss the beauty of this particular 6-day session. Okay, that's actually the way. And I have one more session probably at the fag end of this particular 6 days. That is communication systems engineering, and that's going to be great session. Okay, so you have automation And in between, there are very good speakers talking about various things actually. And this is supposed to be applications of NI LabVIEW phase 2 program. Okay. Unfortunately, it's not going to be LabVIEW or NI LabVIEW in my basic talk. I'm going to talk about applications. I'm going to talk about engineering. I'm going to talk about anything. You will see many people are there like that. So you have, this is actually Vishweswaran is going to talk about remote lab, and you have Dr. Kumar who is going to talk about academy, and he's got Dr. Ganga from NIT Nagaland. She's going to talk about this. And of course, NI Innovations and Applications and Academic is going to talk about Mr. Sunil Kumar of VA Solutions. Manimaran is always there everywhere, and he is the more or less excellent person for talking about LabVIEW, and I will look very, very small compared to him when it comes to LabVIEW and its operations. So I'm not going to do it. Though I have promoted LabVIEW, but I'm not that capable as Manimaran, so he will be able to take that through. Okay, so let us go to the next slide, and that will be the very interesting slide for you. That will be the interesting slide. So do engineering, evolving technologies, relevance of global system design, closed loop teaching learning process. This is what I am doing for the last 25 years, nothing else. Okay, oh, you should not take the long. Before that 25 years, I was in research, and I was mainly in Indian Space Research Organization, and of course Ministry of Defense. And then I moved over to private industry, learned the nuts and bolts of actually how a company should be run, then started entrepreneurship. I concentrated on academia and professional electronics. Okay, this is what I have been doing. And now you said, just look at it. Do engineering. Okay, do technologies. What is the name of your institution? Look at it. Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology. So don't you feel that it is like very wrongly put? What is the difference between engineering and technology? You look at your own audience and then try to find out what is engineering, what is technology, why there's two names for the same thing. After all, the fellow, whether he's a B.Tech or a B.E., he undergoes the same syllabus. He undergoes the same syllabus. Please don't, never they change the syllabus at all. So it's the same syllabus. Suddenly you become, see for instance, I am a person from Birla Institute of Technology and Science, okay, BITS Pilani, okay. I joined Birla Engineering College, okay. I joined Birla Engineering College. And of course, telecommunication was in very small, very in a small way only. It was available all over the country. I went there, okay. And then what happened actually in 2 years or 2.5 years, G.D. Birla Saab has started the university scheme, and there it became BITS Pilani. Okay, so I don't know why he didn't say Birla Institute of Engineering and Technology. He made it as Birla Institute of Technology and Science. Again, we study the same subject. Okay, so we should know what is the difference or what distinguishes this education of science, education of engineering, education of technology. Okay, what distinguishes? And another thing is actually, okay, I want to be a technologist. How I should learn the same subject? If I want to become an engineer, how do I change? How do I study or teach that subject? I want to become scientist. How do I say this? How do I study this? This is what is the difference. I am going to explain you in further 2 or 3 slides this particular thing called what is engineering, what is technology, what is science. Between the among the audience, you decide whether you know the differences. If you know the differences, keep it. I will pose a question down the line and you can answer me. If I am wrong, I am ready to correct it. If you are right, I will take your right thing. And if I am right, please take it and start practicing. That means what? You, in your class, there are about 60 students or 60 learners. I don't want to say students. I want them to learners. Out of 60, everybody will not become engineer. Everybody will not become technologist. Everybody will not become scientist. Some will like to go engineering. Some will like to take technology. Some will like to know science. So As a faculty, you are supposed to provide the inputs to all of them and ensure that this engineer, the person who wants to become an engineer becomes engineer, a person who wants to become technologist becomes a technologist, and a person who wants to become scientist becomes a scientist. Okay, so you should know the underlying difference. Okay, so now go to that. So whether he is engineer or technologist or engineering, technologist or scientist, he has to do what? Design the hardware and software components that go into a system level ecosystem or use them. See, today an accountant in some or in your own institution uses the hardware and software, and he knows the difference between this particular software or that particular software, this accounting software or that accounting software. Okay, so if you really look at it, all of them don't produce. Some of them produce it, some of them uses it, etc. So I am now going to talk about what is known as actually system level design. So system level design is the underlying scope. Actually, when I studied in Pilani, 1963 or 64, system design or system thinking is as a subject was included. That means what? We know how to look at everything as a system, not as a component, not as a subsystem, as a total system. Out of this system, we look at actually what will become this, what will become this, then we will keep on doing. That system level thinking has been put into my mind in 1963 or 64. I'm not sure about that. Okay. So unfortunately, even BITS Pilani doesn't teach system level thinking. Now, if you are going to talk about system on chip, if you are going to talk system level debugging, unless otherwise you understand everything as a system, you cannot do anything. That means as a faculty, you are supposed to look at system level design or thinking basically. Okay. So I want to tell you, look at the Dr. Rohit read about the flowery biodata or the resume. Don't look at it. I'm just looking at it. I do only this. Transform degree holders to engineers. Please understand, not technocrats, not scientists, engineers. Okay. So you should know the difference between engineer and technologist and scientist. I will tell you. Okay. And that means what? That means the person who comes out of your institution just holds one degree certificate. That's all. He is not an engineer. He cannot be used immediately by any industry, let alone be a small industry or a big industry. Any industry. That's true. That was true when I graduated or post-graduated from the college also. Please don't think that it is only for your students. I was taught by the best of the professors, very, very kind professors actually. And still, I can say that I learned how to become an engineer in Indian Space Research under Professor Kalam and his tribe of people actually. That's all it is. Okay. Now, another thing is shift teaching paradigm to learning paradigm. Now, I will give you one example, then you will find out. RC coupled amplifier. You are teaching. Even in 1963, I was taught RC coupled amplifiers. Please don't think that it is only innovation. Nothing. There is no innovation. I have studied it. Okay. But unfortunately or fortunately, I practiced or I made the lab using vacuum tubes, EL84, EL86, EZ80, like that. Okay. Those are all the vacuum tubes. Then slowly, bipolar transistors came. I moved the same RC coupled amplifier using RC coupled, small transistor, bipolar transistor. Then slowly came actually junction FET. Slowly came actually MOSFET. Slowly came what is known as ICs, op-amp. Okay. When I studied operation RC coupled amplifier in 1960, I think in 64, it was all vacuum tube. When I came to first year post-graduation, that is ME electronics in what I had, ME electronics, it was all op-amp 709. Now 741. Now you go to your lab, what I studied in 1969, you are still teaching that in your lab. How can you improve a student to become engineer? He can never become an engineer. Okay. Because of the simple reason, You are having the old 741 still running in your labs. Not acceptable. What is the big idea in doing actually TTL or that is small 7400 IC or 7410, 7430 TTL ICs? No, not necessary. This is being taught by what is it called? +2 CBSE syllabus in 8th or 9th standard, because I am teaching that to my grandson, okay, in 8th standard, 9th standard. So you have to change. That means what? The learning paradigm has to be introduced to your student. How many of your students, assuming that you are continuing with 741, how many of your students have studied the data sheet of this particular 741, understood why this 741 is required? Why not we use 2N2222 or 290906 or some transistor and build the same operational amplifier or some RC coupled amplifier? So you have to understand that learning paradigm should be done. Now, next thing, I go like this. Actually, 75 years, I have spent about 25 to 30 years only developing students or transforming students. So I go to I have visited more than 800 institutions, including actually University of Kashmir, okay, Kashmir. And before the Article 370 revocal, okay, before that, actually I went there and I was very comfortable there. No problem. I stayed with the Vice Chancellor of that university and I stayed there. What is the basic idea? Gap I am trying to do. And those people were really advanced. The University of Kashmir gave really a good idea about how the university should be, how the subject should be taught to the student. They have done very well. Okay, now leaving. I am having a small association with a company called United Electronics in Bengaluru, and I only handle institute industry relationship. Okay, so anybody who wants to develop their students, please understand, I am a failure if I have to teach a subject based on the syllabus, because I don't accept the syllabus. Syllabus should be only for the industry orientation. According to me, writing 5 equations, deriving the equations is not syllabus. Application of that particular concept into a practical development is the syllabus. Okay, and that is what I will teach. Okay, that's why I tell all the people, I have worked with almost every type of practical private university, including your KL University, and I'm always in demand. No problem about it. I have worked with NI India, but I don't know whether I'll continue with that particular thing, because NI India has NI National Instrument has changed to NI India, and NI has got a different prospect, and they may not support the academia directly. They may support through some distributor, etc., with whom I have nothing. I have what is known as pedagogy system architect. That is Dr. Rohit pronounced actually lead lab and desk lab. Lead is learned by doing, and desk is actually demonstrator, experimenter, skill developer. Okay, and I'm now in the process of developing one particular platform, which is actually IoT, and in that IoT, I'm trying to make that actually students can learn. Don't come and say that this is which experiment I should do. No. First thing, you don't do any experiment in your college. You are only doing exercise. And I will give you a platform where it will work as a demonstrator, it will work as an experimenter, and it will work as a skill developer. That means you can build any IoT for any application. I'm going to talk about IoT in healthcare in the automation section. And today I'm going to just talk about that. Okay. And another one is actually Alchemist. What is this Alchemist? Alchemist is basically to convert any metal to gold. What I do? Any student you give me, I make them really good. And I have proof of more than 2,000 engineers working in good position in core engineering industry, and they are doing a great job. It is not told by the student, it is told by the industry, because they asked me last week, actually, do you have any more students available, sir? I said, I have stopped for the time being. Maybe after Corona, I'll start again. That means Even after 75, I'll continue to work with students. That means I'm going to feel like I'm going to be 25, 21, 20 years old. Students are one of the best commodities with which we can work very beautifully, very beautifully. Our age comes down. Okay. So, Dr. Rohit told that actually this fellow is still young, though he is 75. He told 78, but I am only 75, not even 75. Okay, and I am really powered by the student power. That's actually okay. That's a great thing. And this is what I'm going to do actually. See, this is actually the preface, geek factor. This is geek factor, okay? This is taken from Economic Times. Please don't think many of the slides are my creation, but it is actually taken from various papers, which normally a faculty or a student don't read, okay? And don't understand also, okay? See, now, because of the corona, a lot of people are laid out, okay? They're all thrown out, okay? And now gig economy has started. What is gig economy? I have written here. A labor market characterized by short-term contracts of freelance work as opposed to this one. Okay, I am doing it right from 1989. Okay, I do small. That means if a college wants me to teach embedded solutions, I teach only that subject. I am only taken for that particular semester, just 3 months or 2 months. And nowadays I am doing it as 30 days, actually 1 month. And it's about 50 hours or something. 50 hours I teach. I give the particular question paper, and I got the. If they want me to correct, I'll correct it, and then I'll give marks. I'll award the grade. This is what I'm doing, and that is what I have followed. And it is actually going in a big way. If you know Python and you know how to create a small gadgets embedded system, I'm talking. And you can get yourself employed as a gig economy, in the gig economy. So today job is not at all a problem. Getting employed is not at all a problem. 75, I am telling you, I am still employable for another 20 years. I'm telling you. Okay, that's actually the growth of this economy. Okay, people don't understand. Okay, that's all it is. Reskill India. There is a lot of things. Or see, for instance, today you can have actually Mr. Vishweswaran is going to talk about remote labs. That means what? Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology has invested money in a lot of software, including VLSI design, MATLAB, and probably ANSYS or anything like that. So they can put it on the website, and they can have 1 person or 2 person who knows that particular software very well, and you can announce it in the paper saying that anybody who wants to upskill or reskill themselves into things. Suppose I am working with ARCAD, etc. Now I want to move to the IC design, and I don't know how to go about it, front end, back end design. So you can throw it to open your software, because I, as an individual, cannot buy that at that cost. Whereas your institution has purchased, because you have the discounts, and you probably have the money for that, and you have purchased it. Why not use export it to many people? And in Bangalore, people are looking for that. You have the metrographic software. Allow the people to use it through the remote panel. They will work between 9:30 in the night and 12:30 in the night. It will not affect any of your normal session. That's actually a reskill. And this is I have given this to many people, and they are all using it. Okay. And another thing is actually, I am going to only talk about the knowledge of the application. I am not going to get into too much of this LabVIEW or actually this one, because LabVIEW will change, but knowledge will not change, will stay for long. Today you talk about the EMI, EMC, this one, it will continue to be there for many more years. So there is no problem about it. Okay. And sole purpose, this is actually, I am looking at a competency. What is competency? Is knowledge, which should be stable, and skill. As the new voice and tools are coming up, you should be able to upskill yourself. Okay, this is what it is. So now look at it. I have Okay, this is what I wanted to first to tell you. And I have one in between. I have basically pass. I am actually requesting. This is what is the first session. Actually, I'm going to get into the engineering scientist and technologist. And any questions you have or any suggestions you have to make it more interesting for you, so that you don't talk, I talk and you listen. Okay, and that is what it is. So anything you want, you can tell me now. Switch on your mic and tell me in 1 or 2 lines, so I will be able to handle it. Yeah, go ahead. Anybody who wants to talk can talk now. So I assume that you have nothing to talk and you are going to do what is known as listen. That means all your mics should be on a mute mode. So what is the importance? What is the industry looking for? A demonstrated capacity to think and communicate clearly. Okay, clearly. This is technology or engineering concept you should really communicate. There's no point in talking about communication through an English lab. Please, I request you, all of you, to keep quiet. If you want to listen, otherwise I will listen. You talk. I have no problem about it. I'm going to be in a silence mode for some time till you stop talking between yourself. Dr. Rohit, I want a confirmation that everybody is going to be silent, and then I can talk. Otherwise, I am not interested in this. Okay. A demonstrated capacity to think critically and communicate critically. This communicate critically is not actually through the English labs, through the English coaching, is all those things. No, you have to have a project, and that person should be able to present that project in English or Telugu or Tamil or Kannada or Hindi. I have no problem about it. But you should understand the technology and the engineering. Okay. And please understand, the India is going to be the great exporter of manpower, technology manpower all over the world. Recently I went to this Canadian High Commission for seeing how many people are getting, what should I say, immigration. I see a huge crowd, and there are jobs available for everyone. All of us can migrate to this one. Still, we have people in India to work for us, our country. So, employers seek skill found outside the classroom. That is where my mentoring comes up. Okay, and it's not easy. Okay, so this is another thing which I am sure Dr. Rohit and all knows this. In life, there are infinite number of doors. Please understand, we have so many opportunities. If you are diligent, what is diligent? You look at it. I have given you the translation. Steady and earnest in application, you will open some of them. Okay. If you are brilliant, what is brilliant? Outstanding and very intelligent. Okay. You will open many of them. Now look at it. If you are vibrant, this is what is missing in our institutions. If you are vibrant, resonant is what is happening, very bright, thrilling, then doors will open for you. Please, this is not told by some Einstein or anything like that. This is our Sadguru who understands the human mind, who is doing inner engineering. He has told this. And obviously, he would have seen a lot of people actually. So, vibrant. How do you become vibrant? How many of you really go to the library and read the latest magazines? I'm talking about advertisement. Look at the photographs. Look at the pictures. Look at the diagrams. That is enough. You don't read all those English. Look at that. You just look at that increase. Most of them I have learned by that. Actually, VIT, I was working as a visiting professor. You will be really surprised. I must have spent the whole afternoon not sleeping, sitting in the library and really enjoyed the number of books they have. Okay, and that is what it is. So you have to make your student vibrant with technology and engineering. Okay, so engineering, now we come to that. So let us take one engineer in hand. Okay, now let us take Albert Wright, Wilbur Wright, or being electronics and communication students. Probably you will look at Marconi or Graham Bell or anything. Okay, now look at it. Okay, these are all the two people. They have invented telephone, or they have invented, Marconi invented mobile, what is it called, microwave based communication. And probably you have the what is it called, people like Albert Wright, Wilbur, aircraft. Similarly, there are many things. Okay, and now you go another side and look at actually what is it called, our famous Earth gravitational pull. Who is that? Newton. Okay, Newton. What did Newton come? Newton has come out with the theory of gravitation, movement, motion, whatever name you want to give it. Okay. Now, how did he come out with? He was sitting under or sleeping under a apple tree. Apple fell down. Okay. Many of us, if you have been sitting there and apple fell down, why apple, any fruit fall down, we will eat and enjoy that particular afternoon. We say, oh, God has given us the lunch today through this fruit, like that would have done. Unfortunately, this Newton fellow didn't stop with that. He said, why the apple is coming down? Why it cannot go up? Okay, that's what he was thinking. So there must be something which is pulling that particular apple down. Okay, so he slowly analyzed and then did it. But if you really go one more step and see, hey, were the apple going up or down? Before the Newton gave the gravitational pull, it was coming down. That means a scientist is one who gives a postulate or a theory for some phenomena which is already in existence. Please understand, before Newton also it was, say Earth is a sphere. Okay, before he invented also, he gave a postulate also, it was a sphere. And the only thing actually he gave that particular theory, and then Raman, our famous R.C.V. Raman, gave a spectrography, spectrometry, whatever it is, however you have understood it. Okay, I have understood it as spectrophotometry. Okay, and because I am very close, located very close to the Raman Research Institute, many of me people were working there. Okay, that's not a problem. So spectrophotometry is one phenomena which is happening earlier. And he only worked and worked and worked and probably grew a big beard, and then finally came out with a postulate of spectrometry. He got actually the award, or the scientist award, by the Nobel Prize. He got it. Okay, this is actually what we talk about, what is known as scientist. Scientist is one who gives a postulate for a phenomena which is already in place. Now we'll talk about, say, Graham Bell or Marconi, or actually Albert Wright, Wilbur Wright, or anybody you like, any other engineer that you can think of. These people are called engineers. Why they are called engineers? They are inventing something which was not in existence. Before Graham Bell, telephone was not available. Okay, he did that. Okay, and you take Einstein. Before him, the bulb was not available. That incandescent bulb was not available. So if you really look at engineer is one who gives a theory for something which is already existence. Sorry, who invents something which was not there. Okay. Now you go to the technologist. See, Newton, what is his name? Our Einstein invented incandescent bulb. So he took so many material and finally came out with the incandescent bulb. So afterwards, what happened? You have tube light, you have vapor-filled lamps, you have gas-filled lamps, you have all those things are there. Those are all called technologies. That means an offshoot of an innovation, an invention into more products and more services. That is called technology. Okay, technology. Suppose you look at actually technology is also needed and the innovation. Everybody cannot become an innovator, but many people can become technologists. That means your 60 to 70% of the students want to become technologists, and only about 5% of the students can become engineers, and probably 1 or 2 can only become scientists. Okay, scientists. This is actually scientist, engineer, and technology. Without knowing that, without knowing the basic definition, we have created engineering and technology, technology and science, engineering, technology and science. I like that. Okay, there's no. This is what is the basic definition. The slide is available. This is nothing more than what I told. Technology is the embodiment of knowledge. That is actually the innovation in ways that make it possible to create new products, exploit new markets, use new ways of organizing, incorporate new materials and new process to meet customer needs. Okay, you look at many of the chemicals that are being used for producing this virus, what is it called, virus prevention, vaccines and all those things. The basic material is only those basic chemical elements. It's the way in which that is organized to attack or to create antibodies in your body after our administration. That is actually technology. Okay, technology. You have finance technology. You don't have finance engineering. Okay, you have finance technology. Okay, you have education technology. Okay, and that's all various technology. The Gurukulam to this web-based learning, all these things are technology. Basically, there is a teacher and there is a lesson, and there is a there's a master, there is a student, and there is a material. That is actually the one subject matter, and of course the benefit of the subject matter is also should be known. That's all technology. Okay, and the Einstein says this: in scientists investigate that which is already there, engineers create watch which has never been there. So this is actually, I have put it in a small one slide so that you can use it and might try to create more and more such people with knowledge of what is an artist, what is a scientist, what is an engineer, what is an engineer must obey science. A scientist must obey physical laws. A technologist must obey the creativity, but an artist has no boundary. You can mix English, Telugu, Kannada, and Tamil and Hindi in one song and say you are the best singer creation of the song. Okay, that's actually. But all these things look for experimentation. Why we are talking about this difference between engineer and technology, artist, etc., is everything is experimentation. Not exercise as being followed in our universities. No. You are not that student. If he thinks once, that is in 3 hours he is going to spend in that particular lab and find out actually what he has learned in that lab, he will say sorry face. He will cut a sorry face because he has learned nothing. That is why I have put learn by doing. Demonstrator, experimenter, and skill developer. I told that. That is, experimentation provides that. Experimentation is a great thing. I have done it in many, about 100 labs in all over the place, including Yale University. I've done some of the things, and probably some people have accepted, many people have not accepted. I don't care. We need to impart creativity, and creativity comes by active learning. Learn by doing, learn through experimentation, learn through solving exercise, knowledge, skill, and competency. Okay, and that's what is the ultimate thing. I need competent engineers in the marketplace. I don't need engineering degree holders. I need competent engineer. You should have the knowledge. You should have the today's tool. There is no point in telling him. I don't say that assembly language programming is bad, or what is it called, C programming is bad. I'm only telling you, I need a person who wants to, who can write Python. Today's Python is the day. So I cannot talk about, I know COBOL, I know Fortran. I studied Fortran only. I know COBOL because I did the Y2K project. So today we need Python people. So we need that actually. And these are all the industry in which you can learn if you're a competent engineer. And this is what is the thing. And healthcare is what I'm going to talk later. And because I have already reached my time of 11 o'clock, as it is, people are very worried. So I'm going to small it. So with that, actually, I come to an enclave. This one, inauguration session, keynote speak, as requested by the Nagarjuna College of Engineering and Technology. Hopefully, I have conveyed what I felt, what is needed, and what should be practiced. And with that, I declare the particular session, particular program, session 2 or phase 2 as they call, as open. And you will be listening to many people much better than me in those lessons, in those sessions, and enjoy, and you learn every aspect of it. Listening, and practicing is what is going to be there. Thank you so much, the faculty and the participants of this particular session, and I enjoyed it. Thank you. And we will come back to you at 11:30 as suggested by the college or the institution. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Thank you, Jay Raman sir. Thank you for your keynote speech. Participants are requested to join back at 11:30 for session 1. Thank you.